William Palmer says, I came to work to use the restroom. I had a driver from Pakistan washing his feet in our sink. They don't shower and just look at their windows and how gross they are. Yeah. We've joked about that, or I've joked about that on the show before.
I
I've
see it all over X all the time.
seen videos of these guys in their own home country where like the cow's pissing in the street or whatever, and they go over there and they wash their face off in it. And you're just like, what the heck is wrong with these people?
And it's just
cleanliness is not
it's just a totally
priority.
different culture.
Yeah.
And I am all for people coming to America for a better life, for that better security, and doing it the legal way.
100%.
Contributing to their community, our society as a whole.
Yes.
But
assimilation. Learn the language that we speak here. And don't, you came to our country because it's better than the country that you left. So leave the country that you left behind.
Right.
It's as simple as that. Don't try to create little wherever you're from in your neighborhood and just, completely separate from society, but then yet still want to be a part of it. Drive on our roads and whatnot. Total disrespect of our society we have created. Yeah, exactly. It's our culture is being sold by big corporation, big tech, big pharma, and politicians that just don't care, unfortunately.
Which is interesting. One of the links I put in there that brings up a good point. So I mentioned a few minutes ago the oh my goodness.
I like the taste. Dodgeball. Remember that? Sorry.
So I mentioned a few minutes ago the politicians not knowing how rampant this issue is. And so when Secretary Duffy came out and did the press conference this week, he called out 3 states for not enforcing the English language proficiency. But Florida is in that group, and he didn't say anything about Florida. So whatever he was given as the data to support what he was saying, that's what he was given as a leader. And I know from corporate America, yes, oh my goodness, yes, it is. The logistics data is a national security risk. It's frightening.
Yeah. And then Andrea mentioned here too that they take our jobs and send the money to their countries. Yeah. It's just, and then if they're like on a visa, then they become naturalized or they have a kid and then they send for their parents and then their whole family's here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's taking advantage of that polite society once again.
Yeah. Yeah.
They know how to use our system better than folks that are born here. End up on Medicaid and Medicare, getting stuff paid for free. And meanwhile, you and me, we got to work for it, 50 hours a week.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with the CDL schools and the ones that go for free. Which previously we as in like the big lobbyists, we were pushing for the immigrants to be able to get CDLs. And now the push is for foster youth and quote unquote justice involved individuals, which is liberal language for criminals out of jail, or ex-cons. That's what I call them where I come from.
Yeah.
But the programs are free for them. If you went to get a CDL, you would probably pay out of pocket $5,000 to $7,000.
Right. But not for these folks. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. We kind of talked about how the grants and everything like that apply on the last show. So I have this video right here. And I think you've seen this one. It's from the disrespectful trucker. But this is a police officer. I'm not sure if it's a state trooper or whatever, but he pulled over one of these drivers. He's 250 miles off duty on his logs. So that means, tell me if I'm wrong, but he's driving his truck in places where off his destination route.
So he should have pulled over and taken a nap or went to sleep. Yeah.
Off the logs. Okay. So that, okay.
Yeah. After that 11th hour, then he has to pull over and take a 10-hour break.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's 10 hours.
Okay. Because the way I interpreted that was like he was supposed to go A to B, but then he went to point C in the middle and then came back.
And so that is true for this video and what they're saying, because what his logs were saying are not what he was actually doing.
Okay.
And so there is discrepancy there. It's just the hour piece. He should have stopped 250 miles ago.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to let it play.
Yep.
It's 3 miles. I don't know what you're doing up here.
And forgive me if the volume's a little bit low for you guys. It's up as high as possible as I can get it.
I don't know if you're, can I finish? I don't know if you're altering logs. I don't know what you're doing. I stop you. You are to immediately pull to the road. That's how any state is. You turn, because if I'm a fire truck, are you going to continue to drive?
No, I'm actually not.
If I am an ambulance, are you going to continue to drive? If I'm not trying to stop, are you going to continue to drive? You have no clue what our intentions are with our lights on. You are to immediately pull to the right, regardless of where you're at.
That's why I pulled all the way to the side. My
You're supposed to pull to the shoulder and stop. Even on a highway, if there's an emergency vehicle behind you, you are still supposed to stop, just like a 2-lane roadway. There is no.
Now, I'll stop it right there and just give them a little bit of grace, because nobody on a highway pulls all the way over to the right shoulder and stops whenever you see emergency vehicle coming behind you. As a matter of fact, here in Florida, if an ambulance is going by, people end up just following right behind them and using them as like a front door to open up traffic for them. But, so there's that. But the fact is, this dude pissed this cop off by not showing him the respect and pulling over like he should have. But I'm going to continue.
Difference. And the third is false report of duty status. Civil. So that is, this truck drove 250 miles off duty. You already told me you're the only one that's driven it today.
Yep.
And where you said you dropped at is nowhere near what your logs show. Your logs show you 250 miles away. Your logs show you driving from there to Denver or Aurora or wherever it is, north, back south, and back west, and then you started driving. So false record of duty, false logs.
Okay.
I hereby declare the driver identified on this report out of service. No person and or carrier shall permit and require this driver to operate any commercial vehicle until his or her eligibility to drive has been reestablished. This out of service condition waivers only assessment of a civil penalty being issued against the carrier indicated in this report. I'm just going to have you initial on that little line there, just as I read that to you.
Initial what?
Just initial right there that said that I read that to you.
Or make your mark. How about that? Just make your mark. So what are your thoughts about that video?
So DMF Data made a good point there with the team drivers. And this is what we saw in the Terrell, Texas wreck with Alexis, whatever, Campagnoni. On some of those logs, if it is a team, so a team is 2 drivers in the truck, they can keep going. So once driver 1 runs out of his hours, then driver 2.
Yeah, they just switch.
Work.
Okay.
Yes. However, some of the ELDs, because they can be manipulated, you can make the ELD look like there are 2 drivers and you can just keep going. And so I don't know if that was happened. I don't know if that's what happened there. We do know in the Terrell, Texas work, that's what happened. And I would say that it happens far, far more often than we see reported. But also with these drivers, this is one of the things that supports my idea of if we go after the drivers. I don't even know if the people running the companies that they work for tell them these things, or if they're even taught, like, hey, you can't do this.
Right.
Instead, they're just like, they just tell them, if you need more hours or whatever happens, just keep going, let us know, and we'll fix your logs.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, we'll fix it for you. Just drive. Probably ignorance is bliss on the driver's behalf, because if they knew they were doing something against the law, they might not do it in the first place.
And we've had a few like whistleblowers come out, but a lot of them are scared. Like if they come out and say what the company was doing to them, is the company going to come after them? I understand that, like, fear. But, and then if they were here illegally and they're making money or whatever they're doing. Their life is better here than it was there. Like, do they actually want to be fired for coming out against the company and risk going back? So there's a lot that plays into that.
If you enjoyed this clip and you'd like to see more, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow. And you can always catch the show live every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.